Your art will never be good enough. It doesn't matter how many hours you spend perfecting your technical art skill, how many courses you take that teach you about color and lighting, your art will never be good enough. And the sooner you come to terms with the why of it all, the sooner you can make your peace with this. Let's talk about it today. Hi, my name is Srish and I am a professional artist, and more importantly, I am a professional art learner. For my entire career so far, I have only prioritized learning and improving as an artist, and it wasn't until recently that I came across something that really kind of changed the whole game for me. And funnily enough, it was a
Twitter
post. So today I want to try and change your mind about your own art the way this random
Twitter
user did to me. Today we're going to talk about how to improve your art, but without spending all your time only working on your technical art skill and hoping that that will magically make you a better artist. Plus, you get to watch me work on my next installment for the Zodiac expansion series, name to be confirmed. Today we're going to work on painting the dark side of the earth element. If you enjoy this video and feel like you come away from it a better artist, then let me know by giving it a big thumbs up and comment your thoughts below about this whole theory. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for even more art content. And now, without further ado, let me convince you why your art will never be good enough. It's Virgo season. Strap in. So this all started a couple weeks ago when I came across this tweet while scrolling on Instagram. I don't use Twitter because ew, but you do have some gems that get cross-posted onto other socials. But what really struck me was this idea that we tend to hate our own art, and we think it's because it's not visually appealing or it's not impactful or accurate or dynamic, when at the very core of it, it could actually only be because we made it. And that got me thinking, this sounds a lot less like an art skill issue and a lot more like a self-worth issue. Now, before you click away, hear me out, because I promise this will actually make you a better artist, no matter what kind of art you make. So, the idea of self-worth gets thrown around a lot, especially in the context of things like dating or your salary or how people treat you in general. What I never realized is that it could actually have a massive impact on how we create, and more importantly, how we continue to create. And as I dove further into the rabbit hole, it all came down to our favorite buzzword in creative circles, perfectionism. So I looked further because PubMed used to be my bread and butter once upon a time. A 2024 meta-study of 83 articles suggested that perfectionistic concern, i.e. concern about if we are perceived as perfect, was significantly linked to low self-esteem. In fact, a 2020 meta-analysis that looked at perfectionism in academic performances actually found that in children, perfectionistic concern made students less able to perform well in academic settings. Now, why is this important? It's because it tells us that one, low self-esteem makes us feel like we need to put out work that isn't necessarily true to us, but is geared towards everyone else seeing our work as perfect. And two, this obsession with perfection can actually be damaging when we try to learn and improve our art skill. So when we think about it, it's not even really about the art itself, it's about you, the artist. Your art will never improve until your self-image improves. Maybe this is what they mean when they say that all art is a reflection of our inner world. Maybe it's not super deep, it's just about how much we value ourselves. Your art will never improve until your self-image improves. And step one of fixing this is working on healing our perfectionistic tendencies. There's a lot of data that links perfectionism to both genetic and social influences. If you grew up with parents who exhibit perfectionism, you likely expect a lot from yourself. If you live in a society that has high expectations of you, you'll never feel satisfied with your work, no matter how good you get. It's funny because this painting that I'm working on here is what opened my eyes to my own tendencies. Because logically, I know that every painting has its own cycle. It'll start with an amazing idea, it'll translate to a sketch that doesn't quite capture the majesty of the image in my head. Then there's the ugly phase where it looks like something a toddler would paint. Then it gradually builds up to a nice-ish painting before the final sketch takes it to a beautiful masterpiece. This is standard procedure, right? This happens with every single painting. But I don't know if it's just my hormones being crazy or imposter syndrome just hit me extra hard this week, but I simply could not believe in this specific piece. It felt like no matter what I did or planned to do, this painting would never be good enough. And as a consummate introvert, I knew the answer would be to look inwards. But guess what? A 1991 study about perfectionism also found a correlation between general dissatisfaction and introversion. Literally, this idea is older than I am. So, hey, if you're an introvert like I am, boy, do I have news for you. You likely spend way more time with yourself than with anyone else. And as a result, you're more likely to direct criticism inwards more frequently. Yay! Anyway, enjoy your anxiety and frequent burnouts. No, but seriously, the idea of self-criticism is often glorified in school in subtle ways. And while the idea is to push you to do better at school, the lesson most of us end up learning is that nothing we ever do will be good enough. And that translates to every aspect of our lives, including our art. And no amount of art drills or studies or classes is ever going to change that. That's not to say that skills training is pointless, but what I'm saying is that beyond a certain point, it's not going to dramatically change your art. So how do we become better artists? Well, step one is everyone's favorite thing in the planet that no one ever hates doing. It is to do your shadow work. If that term is too woo-woo for you, do your healing, get therapy, work on cultivating a better self-image. This is the hardest part, and that is why you should do this first. Working on healing my childhood wounds, reprogramming my inner monologue, and learning new thought patterns has done way more for my art than anything else in the world. For one, instead of all my art being a subconscious translation of my mental state, I am now consciously aware of how I'm feeling and then able to take my knowledge about composition and storytelling to translate my feelings better onto canvas. It's not about changing how you feel, it's about being better able to communicate it through art. Therapy, journaling, meditation, exercise, all of these can help if you do them with the intention of learning to better communicate with your mind and body and learning how to listen to them. And that's pretty much exactly how art therapy works. It's not about burying your feelings in art, it's about untangling your thoughts through the process of creating. My next tip is all about self-criticism. I'm not saying you should never critique your work, but it's important to be intentional about it. You know that thing they say about criticizing people's appearance, how if they can't fix it in like 10 minutes tops, don't bring it up? I want you to take that rule and apply it to your painting. If you see an issue in your work, can you fix it in 10 minutes? Go do it. Do you see yourself fixing it at some point, but it will take longer? That's a skill issue. Make note of it for step 3. We'll get to that in a second. But do you feel like your art will never improve? Like you'll never be able to nail the lighting or color or textures or mood? That right there is a self-image issue. That thought can go straight to the bin to be incinerated. Always remember, good critique can easily be turned into action steps. If it can't be turned to action steps, it isn't about your work, it's personal, and you don't have to listen to that. But when you do find room for improvement in your actual art skill, my best tip for skills training is to make a checklist. Clearly define which areas of your art you want to get better at. Is it the composition? Is it shading and lighting? Is it color theory and harmony? Is it realism or stylization? I find that having very well-defined goals allows me to see results much more quickly. Think of it like muscle training. Yes, full body cardio is important, but you also need targeted exercises to see results in, say, your biceps or your calves. Similarly with art, when you target certain skills and work on them specifically, not only do you get better overall, but you also improve a lot quicker. It's just more efficient. The final thing I want to talk to you about today is the idea of how we measure progress. This was my favorite mind shift that really made a difference for my art. We need to completely overhaul how we look at progress, how we measure improvement in our skill. The usual way is to compare your final painting today to your paintings in the past, but all that does is tell you how your vision has changed. It tells you about your observational skill. You are now able to see and fix mistakes better than before, and that's wonderful. But there is so much more to your growth as an artist than just the visual process, so here's what I propose. Start measuring your improvement not by comparing your finished pieces, but by comparing your art process today to how you used to paint before. Do you paint faster and more efficiently now? Do you know how to pick colors better on instinct rather than only depending on references? Do you employ better brush economy, which hint hint, I did a video about this some time back. Do you just enjoy painting more now than you used to? All of these things are as much indicators of progress as the finished visual comparison. In fact, I'd argue they are better indicators because they take into account the most important part of the art process, you, the artist. As soon as we shift our focus from something visual to something experiential, we start to let go of perfectionism. And this is probably true of all kinds of perfectionism. The sooner we can let go of how something appears, the sooner we can start to embrace how it feels. When it came to this painting, this was the exact challenge I faced. I think it's partly also because of the story. This is the dark earth piece, which is all about materialism. The earth element is all about the physical aspect of reality. It's about wealth and luxury and the things you can see and touch. But when it goes dark side, earth can be greedy. It can get gluttonous and possessive and stubborn and selfish. Like our character here, who is a deity of the earth. He can create and nurture life, grow entire forests that are teeming with life and love. And instead of sharing this gift, he hoards it for himself. He watches the world around him decay and disappear, and he sits back and does nothing, knowing fully well he could fix the world's problems if he wanted to. He simply chooses not to. I don't know where I got the inspiration from. This sounds like something completely unheard of. I am joking, that was a joke. This is literally the world that we live in. And it is a feeling I really did not want to embody. So it created a sort of disconnect from the painting until I realized these are aspects in myself that I want to reject. Each of us has been selfish and greedy and gluttonous, and most of us eventually make better choices, but we never want to be seen as any of these things, because that would make people see us as bad and morally flawed. And well, what do you know? We have now come full circle, because in keeping with Virgo season, that right there is perfectionism. So hopefully, having put this painting out, that's a demon that I managed to exercise. Maybe a little bit. But what do you guys think of the painting? And now it's your turn. What do you think about this theory? What is your priority as an artist when it comes to your painting process? Are there any other ideas about art mindset that you've seen floating around the internet? Comment below and let me know, because this kind of thing really gets my brain going and I'm always open to learning more. Of course, you can come talk to me on social media. All my links are in the video description. And I do have an art Discord where we share our art and just talk in general. There's some really lovely people on there, so you should come say hello. The link to that is in the video description as well. You can support my work by buying me a coffee. However, if you're an artist, much better way to do it is by checking out my Patreon, because I post super long real-time paint-along art tutorials that do not go up on YouTube on there. And also just a quick reminder that I am taking Stell Study requests for our December lineup this year. It is a public post, anyone can comment on it. So yeah, there is that, and also all of these rewards to be had. So I will leave a link up here and in the video description. Check it out, support your girl. Your support means the whole world to me, so thank you. Now, if you found today's video interesting, you will definitely enjoy this one. I did some time back where I condensed all of the stuff I learned through my art process over the years into one helpful video packed full of tips and tricks. It will change your life. I don't just put these videos on here for nothing. There is actual value in them. So I will leave that here. It should show up in the outro in just a second. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I truly hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Check out that video down here and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!